3 different ways to join the Merchant Marine. So there are many ways to become a merchant mariner. You might go to a university, you might go to an apprenticeship program, you might just start off and jump right on deck. Whatever it may be, there are no wrong options to becoming a merchant mariner. But here are 3 new options that you might not have thought of. If becoming a merchant mariner sounds interesting to you, make sure to check out my community, Sailors Connect, where myself and mariners from all over the world will help guide you to the perfect step-by-step guide to starting your journey as a merchant mariner. You'll get lessons, job boards, whatever it is that you need to start your journey as a merchant mariner, all in this community. If that sounds interesting to you, check out my community, Sailors Connect, link in the description. So this first way, this might seem pretty basic to a lot of people who know a lot about the maritime industry, but for someone who watches videos on YouTube and only knows much about the deep sea section of the industry, know that going inland is a very accessible route as a beginner in the maritime industry. I mean going on like tugboats. I mean going on dredges. I mean going on OSVs. I mean going on ferries. Whatever it is, getting that sea time, inland, deep sea, whatever it is going to help you gain experience for your later goals in the merchant marine. So something like an ATB, that is a tugboat that attaches to a barge. May it be a tanker barge, may it be a dredge barge, whatever it is, that is a good option for you. Because some of those inland ships carry unlimited tonnage qualifications, which means working on this inland ATB, you're gaining the sea time that you would get deep sea. And the barges are so big on these ATBs that it's the same amount of sea time that you're getting deep sea. Even a bonus on that is sometimes those ships, every day you work, you're gaining 2 sea days towards your advancement in the industry, or 1.5 sea days towards your advancement in the industry. So it's a very quick way to run up the ladder in the merchant marine. If you want to go as fast as possible from OS to a third mate, going inland, getting those 1.5 sea days for every day worked isn't a bad route. Those are on those ATBs. Going with the Army Corps of Engineers. The Army Corps of Engineers does all types of inland marine construction, dredging. They work on all different types of tugs and ATVs. It's a very good federal career in the merchant marine that a lot of people don't know about. And it's mainly inland. And it's a good option for people who don't want to be away for long periods of time and still want to be in the merchant marine. They might want a shorter rotation, month on, month off, a couple weeks on, a couple weeks off, and you can be close to home. Say if you live on a port, it's pretty easy access getting in for entry level. Some of these inland jobs don't even require you to have an MMC. Some of these inland jobs on these tugboats only require a TWIC to get on and to start working as a deckhand. It's all about gaining the sea time and gaining the experience. Going on those OSV, these are ships that may run crew from land to those oil rigs or land to those wind farms. That's all they do is run people and supplies back and forth. And it's inland. You might be home every 2 weeks, gaining that sea time, gaining that experience. You don't always need to go deep sea at first. If you want to go deep sea and that's your end goal, but you're struggling to find work, look inland. It's usually easier to get in, and it's a good place to start. It's definitely a good option when thinking and advancing in your merchant marine career. Getting on a local ferry is such a simple way to gain experience, gain sea time. You may live in New York, you may live in Washington. Those big cities on the coast usually have ferries that run the coast or run to islands nearby. And you can be home every night just to get a feel if you even like the job. Getting some hands-on experience, dealing with the lines, the mooring, maybe dealing with some navigation, some steering on the bridge, dealing with the engine room. You'll gain simple experience just to see if you even like it. It's a good way to test yourself to see if you like it, spending 12 hours a day on a boat. But luckily, you'll get to experience it in a good environment where you get to go home and you get to relax every night. And if you don't like it, you don't gotta do it. But if you do like it, it's a very simple way to gain that sea time, gain that experience. Ferries are overlooked. Anything inland is very overlooked for this industry. All these big YouTube channels usually talk about going overseas, talking about the big ships, because those are more of a ideal image for what people want. But it's not the only way to gain the sea time and become a merchant mariner. Some people don't want that long distance travel. Some people don't want those 6 months, 8 months away at a time. They want a steadier rotation and a steadier lifestyle. And even if you want to go deep sea, going in the first isn't bad. Getting some experience on ferry isn't a bad way to start. For this next one, this is a good way to become a merchant mariner for someone who has a bachelor's degree. This is a graduate program through schools like SUNY and schools like Texas A&M. These give people with a bachelor's degree program to get a license in the merchant marine. You'd go through maybe 2 years of schooling and you'll come out with a mate's license or an officer's license or an engineer's license. These are things that people don't realize. They're quick routes to getting into the merchant marine. If you're someone who went through college, realize that the job that you seeked isn't for you, and you want to change your life in the merchant marine, and you don't really want to hawse pipe your way up from the bottom to the top, this is a good route for you. Taking that degree, going to another college where you obviously have the experience, take a couple classes for a couple years, and you'll have a license, making well over 100 grand a year in the merchant marine as either a mate or an engineer. Awesome opportunity. I'm a hawse piper myself, but I know plenty of mates who have went this route, who have came out of college, changed their whole life around and wanted to join the merchant marine, and they went to one of these schools and got a quick graduate advancement course to becoming a mate. On one of my ships, I actually met a pretty new third mate, but this gentleman was mid-60s. So he had a whole life before getting into the merchant marine. Realize that it is never too late to join the merchant marine and become a merchant mariner. He, in his mid-60s, decided, I want to change. His son went to one of these academies and went through it and enjoyed his life in the merchant marine, and he said, I want to do the same. So at 65 years old, he went to SUNY Maritime, went through the 2-year program, and came out as a mate. And he was working as a third mate on a ship. And now he absolutely loves his job, making well over $100,000 a year. Well over $100,000 a year. Working 6 months out of the year. Now that is freaking awesome. For someone who just quickly had a life change, didn't plan on doing the, had no plans of going into the merchant marine for most of his life, all of a sudden wants a life change, and just 2 years later, well over $100,000 a year, working 6 months out of the year. Now that is amazing. And if that sounds interesting to you at all, and if you want to work with me directly, make sure to check out my Community Sailors Connect link in description, where I'll help you start your journey in the merchant marine. For this next one, this is a good way to getting into the merchant marine, and even before you get into the merchant marine, being a step up above anyone else entry-level merchant marine, using the military experience that you've had to help you join the merchant marine. Now what I mean by that is very simple. In the military, you gain certain experience that translates so well into the merchant marine, but not just your experience. We have a very good military to mariner program with Military Sealift Command. GI Bill or whatever benefits you have from the military to pay for maritime training. Even with, say, the Navy or the Coast Guard, you may, and I would put a big may on this one, translate some of that sea time over to helping you advance. You might not be able to get direct one-for-one sea time that you did in the Coast Guard or the Navy, but that will definitely benefit you to advancing in the merchant marine for sure. Many veterans qualify for expedited licensing advancement due to their documented sea time. Your prior military experience will help you get into these federal jobs in the merchant marine, such as MSC or NOAA, or even the Army Corps of Engineers. If you were in the Army, don't think that this wasn't translated all to the merchant marine. The Army Corps of Engineers that I mentioned before will directly correlate with your time in the Army. Military are always first in line for any federal hiring. For any civil service maritime positions like MSC, NOAA, Army Corps of Engineers, you'll be first in line. They're going to pick you over any guy off the street because of your military experience. They know they can trust you. They know you're used to the chain of command, the way it works, taking orders, doing your duty first and foremost. And that is how the Merchant Marine is run. And a lot of people coming off the street don't really understand that. So they would love to take anyone with prior military experience first. And a good thing that people don't really realize is if you have some type of security clearance through the military, that will help you greatly with getting hard jobs to get in the Merchant Marine. There are many jobs, very high paying jobs, that you need a security clearance. If you have that prior documentation, you're jumping right ahead of everyone else. Getting these high-paying jobs as entry level has never even been on a Merchant Marine vessel because you have all this awesome prior experience in the military that will help you transition into the Merchant Marine. So using your military background to jump ahead of line to becoming a mariner, the military to mariner situation, whatever it may be, it is a good option to getting a head start in the Merchant Marine. So there are many ways to becoming a merchant mariner. These 3 options will definitely help guide you to different routes to joining the Merchant Marine. And when you do start your journey to becoming a merchant mariner, I hope to see you out there and sail on.